What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and we have our second trailer for The Marvels. Kind of our second trailer. I say that because I don't think this is the last The Marvels trailer that we're going to be getting before the movie comes out. I do believe there is going to be one more full official trailer. I say that because this trailer kind of is partially a recap and kind of a what you need to know about what happened in the past to know what is happening with The Marvels. We have a recap of Carol Danvers, of Kamala Khan, of Monica Rambeau. They put out this trailer so you're not super confused as to what is happening in The Marvels when you go to see it. And of course, we'll break it all down and talk about the things you need to know going into The Marvels and what to expect based off of this new footage that is shown here in this trailer. But first, big reminder, today is the last day to enter our giveaway of this month for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. Again, we pick one winner each month, and the winner gets to pick one item. Only one day left in August, so be sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. So the first scene of this trailer is a pretty epic scene. We have Carol Danvers flying through space, but we have Goose on her shoulder that you can see there, just chilling, loving it, just flying through space, his little flirkin self, helping out Captain Marvel defend the universe. So it looks like there is no mistake at this point since we've seen this and we've seen other footage of Goose with Captain Marvel. Goose is Captain Marvel's cat. They full on travel the universe together at this point. But then we hear Captain Marvel say, "I need to regain the memories that the Kree took from me." And then we see a lot that happened in the first Captain Marvel film. And we see a quick recap of her life before the Kree took her. We see her as a pilot, we see her with her best friend Maria Rambeau, and we see her shoot the Tesseract, which in turn explodes and gives her her powers. From there, the Kree take her, erase her memory, and eventually she goes back down to Earth, thinking that she is a Kree herself, but ultimately comes to the realization that she isn't a Kree and she was abducted by them, and she breaks free of the Supreme Intelligence and ultimately defeats the Supreme Intelligence. And then she goes back on Earth, talks to Maria Rambeau, talks to her daughter, Monica Rambeau, and promises that she is going to be back. And of course, she worked a lot with Nick Fury as well, becoming very close to him. So the biggest takeaway that you need to know about Captain Marvel is that Maria Rambeau was her best friend, and Maria's daughter, Monica, was promised by Captain Marvel that she would return. And of course, Monica is going to be one of the Marvels in this next movie. And then we cut to what happened to her during the events of WandaVision. Unfortunately, when Captain Marvel was gone, her friend Maria and mother to Monica died. Then Monica herself actually ended up getting dusted. She got blipped. But then of course she came back. Then she worked for Sword/Shield. She went to investigate the anomaly that was happening at Westview, and she went through Wanda's protective barrier that she had over Westview, which gave her powers. And now she can manipulate wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum. And then of course we have our Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. And here's where we start to get into some really important details. We obviously know that whenever Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, or Monica Rambeau use their powers, they switch places. So ultimately, the three of them end up in the same place on the same ship, most likely due to the fact that they have to go out and solve why they are switching places. And to do that, they all have to be together. Carol Danvers can't go out into the universe and keep switching places with somebody on Earth or somewhere else. So the three of them have to be together. And when they get together, Kamala Khan shows Captain Marvel her bracelet, and Captain Marvel actually knows what it is and questions Kamala about where she got it. And that's where we get a recap of Miss Marvel. Now, we know though that Miss Marvel got sent that bangle from her grandmother, and we know that her family actually got it from a dead Kree. And we know that there were supposed to be two, but they only found one. But we know the Kree had it, which is probably why Captain Marvel recognizes it. And we also know that Dar Benn, the villain of the movie, has the other bangle. So perhaps Captain Marvel has actually ran into the other bangle before. So once we get done with all of the recaps, we see Captain Marvel extend her hand to Kamala Khan, looking for a handshake, basically saying, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to be partners. We're going to go out there, figure out why we are switching places, but we're going to be a team. You, me, and Monica, the Marvels. And I always feel the need to address this because I think it's hilarious. They always play, for the Marvels that is, the Beastie Boys song Intergalactic, which starts with, "Well now, don't you tell me to smile." This goes back to the first Captain Marvel for when the promotions for it were happening, and people were all talking about Brie Larson and how she didn't smile and she needs to smile. In which she replied, none of the other male superheroes smile in their posters or anything like that. So I think this is a super clever way to kind of take a jab at that. Also, the title of that song, Intergalactic, is very fitting for this movie since the three of them are going to be exploring and searching the galaxy. Now from here they go on to talk more about how they switch places every time they use their powers, and we do see Dar Benn, and we see that she is wearing the other bangle. She hits her hammer that is very similar to Ronan's hammer, Ronan the Accuser from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, who we believe she might have some relation to. But she hits the hammer against her bangle, a huge explosion goes off, and something shoots off into the sky. And what we believe is happening here is she is opening up portals, and she is going to be stealing some planets' resources. We actually see this a little bit in another trailer that was released for the Marvels. We saw a different planet and a portal over the ocean and water going into that portal. So she's either stealing resources for herself, or she is trying to destroy other planets by taking their resources. But the interesting thing is we actually see Kree on Earth and on Nick Fury's ship on Saber, it looks like. So it seems like they are actually searching for the other bangle to give to Dar Benn. And then we have a final scene which shows us what appears to be probably the final fight of the movie. The three of them going up against Dar Benn. And honestly, the action looks pretty dang good. And if you actually look very closely at the end here at this battle, they still are swapping places. Captain Marvel goes to hit Dar Benn with her hammer, it looks like, not using her power, simply using a weapon, so she doesn't switch places with anybody. But then if you look in the back, Kamala Khan goes and shoots a beam at her, and as she shoots the beam, she actually begins to dissolve because she is starting to switch places with one of the others. But this allows her to avoid an attack from Dar Benn. So I definitely think that they are going to be using the fact that they are swapping places with each other each time they use powers as an advantage towards the end of the movie. This is going to be sort of a battle tactic, because imagine fighting three people with powers who keep switching places with each other every time they use their powers. It's essentially the three of them teleporting everywhere. That's probably going to be pretty hard to fight, so I definitely think they use that to their advantage by the end of the film. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the runtime of the Marvels. According to multiple inside sources, the Marvels is only going to be about 1 hour and 38 minutes long, which is really short for a Marvel movie. But let's talk about why this is, because apparently they cut some stuff. And keep in mind, the credits are about 5 minutes long, so the movie is really about 1 hour and 33 minutes long. And according to some sources, including My Time to Shine Hello, they removed some parts of the movie, mostly from the musical planet that they visit. We heard about this long before we got the first trailer for the Marvels, that the Marvels might be somewhat of a musical. And a lot of fans really did not like hearing that. But apparently the whole thing wasn't going to be a musical. They were simply going to visit a planet that kind of communicated musically. And this was kind of going to be the musical part of the movie. Well, apparently they cut that out. They either realized that a lot of fans probably didn't really want to see that, or they simply thought, you know what, this doesn't work. It's not very good. Let's just cut it out of the movie. So that's probably a good thing. If they decided to cut it, it probably wasn't amazing. So the movie is going to be short, but hopefully what we do see in the film is going to be pretty good. Again, all the action that we've seen in this so far in the trailers looks pretty good, and it looks like it is going to be pretty funny as well. Fingers crossed, but go ahead and let us know your thoughts on this new The Marvels trailer in the comments down below. Are you excited for the movie? Are you not excited? Let us know all your thoughts. And again, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment so you can enter our giveaway. Only 1 day left. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.